forget to remember your father, Jesus Christ.
So shalom brothers and sisters, I hope you're good today. So there's this video that I want to show you. I've been hearing our people talking about, Ghana has been oversold, or Ghana is so on the spotlight as compared to other countries. And my own perspective of this might be different from maybe other YouTubers who tries to compare Ghana with other country. Me as a Kenyan, as a person, and also through history, as I've been growing and listening to Ghana stories, and I've also studied their history. I know something about their history. I've studied about some of their cultures and their ceremonies, which is quite incredible. So after time, I tried to, do my research. It's not something that I just woke up yesterday and just said, no, I want to talk to you. No, this is different. So I feel like Ghana is the greatest of all time when it comes to the pioneers of people who recognize the fact that African Americans or people with the African descent should come back home. Remember the year 2019, that was the year of return when Ghana, through the president of Ghana, Akufo. So they come up with ways in which they can bring African Americans home. That time, there were no countries which had that initiative. It is only after Ghana did that, other countries opened up ways. Also, when you look at the population of African Americans in Ghana is quite much as compared to any other, part of Africa. So guys, these are the reasons why Ghana is the greatest of all time. And that's why the African Americans will still go to Ghana regardless of what. So let's get into it. This is Eugene from Kenya. If you are new to this channel, maybe if you see I add value to your video, to what you're watching, you can consider subscribing to this channel. So let's roll. First of all, African Americans looking to reconnect with the African culture. Ghana is the best place because Ghana carries a cross section of all Africans. See, Ghana has above 100 ethnic groups in which one can, if you want to be seen with, or if you want to be identified with a given ethnic group in Ghana, that's the place. Ghana is rich in culture. So African American looking to reconnect with his Ghanaian ancestry or his African ancestry, Ghana is the best place to go. And it has a cross section of all African ethnic groups. You can find them in Ghana. One thing that you might want to find in Kenya, you might want to find in Nigeria, you might want to find it, in Tanzania. They are all in Ghana. They are all saturated in Ghana. That's why Ghana is the best place to go for African Americans who want to reconnect with their roots. Because populations and populations and populations and populations are in Ghana. So for people, for example, this might be an exemption for African Americans who want to, don't want to go where most of African Americans have gone. Yes, there are a lot of people still who feel like, I don't want to go where I see, faces. So they want to go to a place where they want to see new faces. They don't want to, get it with each other on the road to realize that, oh, fellow African American, yeah, you're on the streets of Ghana. Yes, what are you doing in Accra? They don't want that. So some people might want to, visit new places where it has not been, inhabited by African Americans. So Ghana, if you want to, feel at home, if you want to find a number of African Americans, if you want to somewhere to start, but you don't want to start from zero, Ghana is the best place to go because it's rich in culture and past 100 ethnic groups which you can resonate with, and it passes across all Africans. So that's why I say to you, Ghana, as Ghana should be the greatest of all time when it comes to, making our brothers and sisters from the United States to come to Africa, And this is a fact. Because if it's not for the year of return for the president, Akufo-Addo to initiate, the year of return where African Americans were allowed to come to Africa, specifically Ghana, for the free, through the free visas, and there were some exemptions of land. I might not say that it was entirely free because there was some amount which were paid, but at least it was a good starting point for Ghanaians You see, it was a good starting point for Ghanaians. So if you're a person who wants to, reconnect with the African culture, because Ghana is one of the richest African countries, which is rich in culture. So that's the first one. You know that Ghana are one of the African countries to gain freedom, to gain independence. Yes, So this freedom is a symbol of free independence, and surveys have been done. Surveys show that African Americans love Ghana because it was one of the African countries to gain independence, which is a symbol of freedom. That's all African Americans ever wanted. They wanted to come back home, which also symbolizes freedom. So Ghana is still the goat when it comes to, a place for African Americans. I understand some people might want to visit other places because we have other beautiful places, including my country, Kenya. It's so, so beautiful. But here, I'm saying this because it's true. Ghana is the greatest of all time, because it was one of the first African countries to gain independence. And the same fight, it what the black was trying to fight in the United States. So they highly resonate because both of them, they were so fast, they were so radical in fighting the injustices, the racial discrimination that was happening in Ghana before independence, the racial discrimination. And also a lot of slave ports, a lot of slave ports were from Ghana, Elmina, name them all, Accra, So that's place where most of African Americans came from when he talks about Africa. That's Ghana. Ghana is the place where African most, you see. So that's what makes it great, brothers and sisters. Tell me what you think in the comment section. Your opinions are we are open to opinions, but then be kind with your words. I'm not trying to sell for you Ghana so that I don't want to come to my country, my country Kenya. My country Kenya is beautiful. I also did a video for you to come into Kenya if you want to come to Kenya. But I'm selling you Ghana because Ghana has a lot of things which will make your life easier. There might be challenges with Ghana, like high cost of living. A lot of people say that, yes. But I believe that coming to Africa generally, it's not an easy thing. But again, when something is not easy, it doesn't mean that it's not possible. So it means that it might not be easy, but of course it's possible. Number 3, the people revisiting the coastline of Ghana. Remember the Cape Coast Castle? Those are one of those places where African slaves were being converged and later taken to, they were ferried. So any African American who wants to see the places, and a lot of videos have been done about this, and I'm just trying to prove a point. So if an African American wants to try to understand where their forefathers were kept, the coastline of the Cape Castle is a history which shows, and it's also documented. It's a history, it's an historical line, it's an historical place which shows a poignant historical time which our brothers, our Africans forefathers who are taken to the slave ships to those places. So it highly resonates with African Americans because they can really see, oh God, this is the place where we were, our forefathers were taken. It doesn't have to trigger something negative to you, but at least it shows you how authentic, it shows you how truthfully this is the place where we should be, because over 200,000, at least, let me say the word, at least 200,000 Africans were taken from Ghana through the place Cape Castle, the coastline, the Cape Castle. Around 200,000 Africans were taken from that place, at least 200,000. So it's a place in which African Americans can highly resonate with. When I say that, they can highly resonate with. The 4th one, if you want to embrace a most hospitable community, Ghana is the place. Ghana is the place. Surveys have been conducted. At least 87% of African Americans and 40% of any other visitors who have come to Ghana have shown positive feedback that Ghanaians are so welcoming, they are so hospitable, they are so welcoming. And these are reports which have been given by African Americans. And let's say, if you look at the percentages of African Americans who have come with positive feedback, let's take Ghana, let's take Kenya, let's take Tanzania, okay? Ghana still tops, even if we take South Africa, Ghana still tops. You know, the warm embrace which Africans in Ghana, the Ghanaians, how they have welcomed the visitors, it's 87%, you know, the positive feedback were 87%, which is almost 90%, you know, maybe for a few people that have disagreed with other people. I'm not saying that other countries, people don't have positive sides, but at least when we are looking at the merit, Ghana is still the GOAT when it comes to welcoming our brothers and sisters from the African, from the United States. You understand that? So people have done videos talking about, you know, Ghana being a warm place. We've seen African Americans thriving in Ghana. So it's a place where people can thrive. Every place have their challenges. Every place have the positive and negative impacts. But again, if you go to a place and you want to stay there forever, you have to live with them to live or to die. Just like you before, you know, getting the vows, you know, through life and death, through pain and sickness, through happy moments and sad moments. Same to Africa. When you come to Africa, expect some bad days, expect some good days. Well, at the end of the day, if 90%, if 87% of people who visited Ghana and 40% of other races who have come to Ghana have laid a positive feedback, then it's true that Ghana is still the GOAT when it comes to African American visitors who want to visit Africa. As I said earlier, if you feel like you don't want to go where a lot of places where African Americans have gone so much, you can choose to places like Kenya. We have Gambia, we have South Africa, we have, you know, Tunisia. We have a lot of African countries which have beautiful culture, which also acts as an alternative that you can visit. You know, I can't say that there are bad African countries. No, I can't say that. All I'm saying is that when we have a merit and we are choosing which country in which have shown that African Americans are thriving well is Ghana. However, a lot of people, not a lot of people, but some people, some African Americans have showed negative aspects, and we have seen some of them leaving Ghana to go to different places. Of course, that makes it some of the people who cannot stay to that place because of some maybe personal reasons, bad experiences that they shared. Of course, it is there. And I have just told you, in a place, there are always the good times and the bad times. So through bad days and good days, if you decide to stay, you'll always see the positive side. But for the weak people, not for the weak, but for people who are not ready to, you know, to stay in a place, they will migrate. And that's the nature of human being. And the migrations of human beings have always been there. History have recorded it. So migrations have always been there. So I understand if you don't resonate with Ghana, well and good. As I've said earlier, there are places where you can still visit in Africa, including my country, Kenya, which also have a beautiful culture. You know, people are so diversified, and it's open for everyone because our president just recently confirmed that visa-free is yet to come to Kenya. So, guys, if you're watching this video, you've reached to this part, kindly like the video. It really helps me with the algorithm. And if you're watching this video for the first time, kindly consider subscribing to my channel. Of course, this is Eugene from Kenya. I'll be giving you content regarding Kenya and outside the world, but specifically Kenya and anything, not Kenya, but Africa, anything related to Africa and outside the world. So let's continue. So guys, if you reached till the end, it's a thank you, Thank you so much. Always thank you for coming back and watching this video. Shout out to all my fans from the United States. Shout out to all my fans from the United Kingdom. Shout out to all my Ghanaian friends. Shout out to my South African friends. Shout out to my Kenyan friends. You guys, you are my biggest friends, and you are the reason as to why I make up to make these videos. So guys, until then, let's peace prevail. You know, it's Eugene from Kenya, and every time, peace, love, and harmony. Salute.